So a lot of you asked me to make a video about selling t-shirts online and about print-on-demand e-commerce. Selling t-shirts and other print-on-demand products can actually be a really great way to make money online, and if you do it right and set it up properly, it can become automated. It can become passive income. But if you want to start selling t-shirts online, there are a few questions you'd have to ask and have answered to even know if it's worth your time and whether this is something that you can actually pull off on your own. So in today's video, I'm actually going to answer all of your questions about selling t-shirts online. How much money can you make selling t-shirts? What are the best websites for selling t-shirts online? How much does it cost to get started? And is any of this really worth your time and effort? Can you do it even if you don't have a large audience? Also, I'm going to show you exactly how much I make from selling my own t-shirts and hoodies. Link is in the description down below if you want to check out the merch. Anyway, let's jump into the video. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another Making Money Online video, and today we are talking about selling t-shirts, hoodies, and print-on-demand products. It's a video all about e-commerce. So let's start with what you really need to know. How much money does it cost upfront to sell t-shirts online? And the answer, shockingly, is $0 upfront. If you really want to do this, you can do this for $0 using websites like Teespring and Spreadshirt. Now, of course, you can use other sites like Shopify if you want to have your own website, your own domain name. I'm gonna get into the pros and cons of that in a minute. For a lot of you, selling t-shirts and hoodies is gonna be a lot faster than trying to make money on YouTube from ad revenue and sponsorships. So how much money can you make? Well, when you sell hoodies, they're obviously a little bit more expensive, but you might get better margins out of them. When you sell t-shirts, they're going to be a little bit cheaper. And so depending on which websites you wanna use and which process you go through, on average, I would say between $5 and $12 is what you could look for in profits. Because when you use print on demand, they are going to take some of the money from the sale up front, but it's not costing you anything. And what you're gonna make in profit is gonna be whatever is left over after they cover all of that. So that's how print on demand works. No more buying expensive, vinyl machines, heat press, silkscreen printing. No more standing out in the hot sun in the middle of July, selling them out of the trunk of your car. We just use the internet. It's amazing. So that answers our first couple of questions. $0 upfront if we use websites like Teespring and Spreadshirt, and our profit margin is usually gonna be between $5 and $12. There you go. But there's a couple of things you need to really think about. I brought up Shopify earlier because if you really want to build a high-end, merch store of your own, or start doing a print-on-demand business, Shopify is amazing, and it is gonna cost you about $29 a month for their basic setup there. And then there are a few other things you'll wanna look into, but here's why a lot of us use things like Spreadshirt and Teespring. Obviously, it is because they are $0 up front. We don't have to invest anything. And you can actually use free design software if you don't have Adobe like me to be able to make your designs and get those things done. But there's going to be a catch here. It's very hard doing that to make really competitive products and merchandise that are gonna sell to your audience or to strangers who have no idea who you are. So that's not really making a clothing line. And so it's a good place for beginners, but if you want to really make money at this, you're gonna have to go a step further. And so you're gonna want to have good software for designing stuff like Adobe, or you're gonna wanna have to hire somebody from Fiverr or another website to be an artist for you. So you're gonna have to go ahead and commission some really good custom artwork to go on your t-shirts, your hoodies, your merchandise, your posters, your mugs, whatever it is. Then on top of that, when you use Teespring and Spreadshirt, the shipping on these things can take forever. So there are downsides to zero investment up front. You're also driving your audience to somebody else's platform instead of having your own website, and a way to also capture that customer information and be able to market to them in other ways. So you're kind of stuck with their website. And quality control wise, look, I love the quality of the merchandise we have for the Awesome Squad, but you don't have quality control when you are using Spreadshirt and Teespring. And then you also, have to deal with the delays on the shipping and whether or not your customers are happy with that. So if you went with Shopify, you could actually source things through Printful, and that actually would be really good. They handle all the processing, all of the payment, all of the shipping, and so you don't have to deal with that, and it actually happens a lot faster. So I think that that's actually a better route if you want to invest in this and go hard. You also, with getting a designer from Fiverr, are going to be able to have a lot more options, and you're not limited to your own artistic ability and your, capacity to either buy, afford, or use apps like Photoshop and Illustrator very well, and you're not limited by what free tools can accomplish. You can get somebody who actually specializes in this, does a good job, and can take your ideas, your vision, and make something out of it that's really cool that would be worth people spending money on. Now, can you sell t-shirts without a large audience? Well, yeah, you absolutely can if you are the type of person who is good at sales, and if you're willing to do that, do marketing, or if you have the budget to do influencer marketing, paid Google ads. You could use Google Smart Ad campaigns. I use that for my, coaching business. And then you also have, a few more options. If you do have a large audience, obviously you can market directly to them. Now, in a bit, I'm going to show you my sales numbers on the merchandise, from our merch here. But I think you guys, if you are familiar with me, you pretty much know that I don't move and push this merch. I barely mention it to you guys, and I rely on the Teespring integration right below this video to do most of that sales work for me. When I do promote it, I actually make mock-ups using Placeit. It's actually really cool, and they have a lot of cool design features. You can get mock-ups for, not only your merchandise and your t-shirt, but for all other kinds of things as well. I actually use this for a lot of my digital products, also in terms of mock-ups, when I sell things like the YouTube starter kit, or when I'm promoting something that grows my email list, I use Placeit for the mockups. I'm gonna link to that down in the description if you wanna check it out. It is an affiliate link. They are, I believe, $14.95 a month. I just do the yearly for like 89 bucks, and I think it's a steal when it comes to all the things that lets you do. But this would help you in terms of your marketing effort to be able to promote your merchandise. So if you do have an audience, that's helpful, or if you need to make ads and then you need to pay for those ads, that's also helpful for you to have that. Now, if you decide you want your own domain name with something like Bluehost, which we also recommend, then guess what? That's gonna cost you about, I think, $15 to $20 a year, depending on the domain name that you want. So you're gonna have to do that so you can send them to your website. Shopify for hosting your e-commerce platform, connecting with Printful, that's gonna cost you $29 a month for the basic plan. So while this isn't radically expensive, and you could do this initially with like $100, it could all start to add up. And if you don't know that there's demand for this, you don't have an audience, or you don't have experience, then that investment may not feel worthwhile. And then you're better off with something like, Spreadshirt or Teespring, and that could help you out. And that's probably the main reason that I decided to go with those platforms. Was with all the other stuff that I do online, I didn't feel like I was going to invest the upfront time to do that and build out a full-on clothing brand. It's actually something I would like to do in the future, and it's something that I've been playing with. And so I'll tell you a bit how I would approach that. But the main thing that I want to show you here is like the idea of whether or not this is worth your time, whether or not you can make money from this. And the answer is yes, but you are going to have to initially put in effort if you want it to happen. I don't think most of you can make this fully automated without a lot of upfront effort. So I just want to be kind of clear about that. But I do think that you could make more money selling print-on-demand products, whether it's t-shirts, hoodies. Some of your artists, you do really good with posters and artwork. That would be actually really dope to see. And so I think you could do that a lot more easily and make your first $100 or $1,000 online than probably trying to do YouTube and get monetized here on the platform. Now with Teespring, because I'm a YouTube partner that has more than 10,000 subscribers, I do get the merch shelf. And so when people want to buy this, they can just go down to that and they can see it. YouTube kind of puts it there like an ad. And that's actually really practical if you have an audience. If you don't have an audience, then the main ways that you're going to be able to benefit from print on demand would be that you have to do some form of online advertising or get influencer shout outs, and that would move your merchandise. Now let's see real quick how much money I have made on Teespring with my merchandise. It looks like in the lifetime of me doing merchandise without me pushing it to you guys, telling you guys to buy the merch, buy the merch, buy the merch. It looks like I've done 82 sales. So I've sold 82 products, whether it's t-shirts, hoodies, whatever. And that has done us in profit, $761. And in terms of some of the money that it's helped us raise for charity, it's helped us raise $66 for charity. So that's actually not bad considering, you know, I'm not aggressively pushing this stuff, but it does mean that when it comes to all-time sales on Teespring, we haven't actually even cracked $1,000 with this. The good news is we haven't tried to push it aggressively, and if we sold 100 of these products, whatever it is, if we sold 100 of them, then we'd be closer to cracking 1,000. So that tells you that between $6 and $12, $5 and $12 is pretty accurate for how much money you make for every one of your sales. Again, I think you make more on the hoodies than anything else. T-shirts is going to be the lower priced and lower margin in terms of profit. Now, I'm going to probably do some kind of video about Teespring versus Spreadshirt, but the main thing that I think you should know watching this video is that Spreadshirt actually ships to more places outside of the US than Teespring does. So if you have an international audience, I think putting your products in both websites is probably the best idea. But if you had to commit to one, because of the YouTube integration and because I think the quality is slightly better, I would say Teespring. But if you want to reach more people in terms of international audience, then Spreadshirt. And I've used both, and so I'm actually happy with both. I don't have negative things to say about them, but that is the place that I would start. If I wanted to take this super seriously, I'd get a Shopify store. I would definitely hire a designer on Fiverr to make a couple of different designs. It's not gonna be that cheap to do, so I would put some real money into this. I'd probably put $1,000 into this if I was taking it seriously. Get a couple of designs done, get a website domain, get Shopify, make some mock-ups and place it. Then I'd put a little small ad budget probably into Google and Instagram. And I'd also probably I'd probably send to the PO box of a couple of my favorite influencers. I would probably send my t-shirts and hoodies to them. I'd figure out what their size is and I would send them that as a gift. And then if they shout it out, that's great. If they don't, they don't. And that's probably how I would approach it. I would use Shopify and Printful because I can do the branding and packaging the way I want. I could even put my own logo on the label of the hoodies. And so it would look like a real clothing company. And that's probably the way that I would do it. In the future, I actually want to do an experiment with that and show you guys what the step-by-step process would look like. So if you're interested in that kind of video, let me know in the comment section. Also, let's do a little fun experiment. Let's see if we can get 500 likes on this video. Question of the day. What else do you want to know about print-on-demand products? Do you want to know more about selling merchandise through free websites and which ones are the best free websites for selling t-shirts and print-on-demand? Do you want to know more about Shopify? Like, let me know in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out all the awesome stuff here on the channel. Also, resources, links to everything I talked about are in the description down below, along with the merch. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching. And don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.